3 good dates. 1 kiss you are still replaying in slow motion. And now it is 11 at night, and you are lying there holding your phone like it owes you something. You sent the last text 2 hours ago. Nothing. The little dots appear. 3 of them, breathing. Then they vanish. Then nothing again. And somewhere in those 2 hours, a quiet part of you already built a whole future. You pictured the wedding. You named a dog. You barely know this person, and your chest already aches like you have known them for years. So you make yourself wait. You will be cool. You will not text first. And underneath runs a voice you would never say out loud. You are being needy. You are too much. You are going to scare them off. So let me say it right up front. Nothing is wrong with you. You are not needy, and falling this fast is not proof that you are broken at love. What you are feeling is the oldest thing your species does. And the reason it hit so fast and felt so total is hiding in a brain scanner, 166 cultures, and 2 very loyal little rodents. But the first clue is stranger than all of it. It is in why a human baby is born so helpless it almost should not work. To understand the ache, we have to go back, a long way back. Long before apps, before, let's just see how it goes. Picture your ancestors in a small band on open ground with all of human history still ahead of them. And picture the single hardest thing they ever had to do. Keep a baby alive. Because here is the strange problem at the center of our whole species. A human baby is born almost comically helpless. Can't walk, can't cling, can't feed itself, and it stays dependent on someone for years. The leading view among researchers is that this is the engine of the whole story. We are born early, with big, expensive brains, into a childhood so long and so costly, it changes the math of everything. And here is the math. 1 tired caregiver alone was a thin margin. 1 bad week, 1 hungry season, and the thread could snap. But 2 invested people, plus the aunts and grandparents around them, that was a baby who made it. So evolution did something clever and a little ruthless. It built a system to take 2 near strangers and lock them together, fast and hard, into something that would hold long enough to raise a child. Not a polite preference, a pull, a craving that grabs and does not let go. The anthropologist Helen Fisher mapped this best. In 2002, at Rutgers University and the Kinsey Institute, in the Archives of Sexual Behavior, she laid out 3 brain systems that weave together. Lust, the broad pull toward anyone suitable. Then attraction, where that pull narrows onto one person, dopamine-driven and obsessive, the kind that steals your appetite and your sleep. And then attachment, the calm, deep security that keeps 2 people side by side long after the fireworks settle. And here is the part I really want you to hear. In the world that built this, speed was not a bug. Speed was the point. In a small band, the person you were falling for was very likely your partner for life. There was no swiping to the next one. So falling fast was simply how the bond got strong before you needed it. The too fast you keep apologizing for is the system working perfectly and right on time. Which raises a question that should make your skin prickle a little. If this machine is that good, what happens when you run it through a phone? So bring that ancient machine forward. Drop it, fully loaded, into your actual life. And watch what it does. Because the machine did not change. The world did. You did not meet this person across a fire in a band of 40 people you would know for the rest of your life. You met them on a screen, one of dozens of little rectangles, in a world of endless options, easy exits, and a default where nobody owes anybody anything for a good long while. But your bonding system cannot see any of that. It does not know about apps. It does not know we are keeping it casual. All it reads is the inputs it was built for. A connection, a kiss, a night that felt like something. And the moment it gets them, it does the only thing it has ever known how to do. It starts building a bond. On its ancient schedule, full strength. So the chemistry rises right on cue, and the structure that used to catch it is just gone. You bonded. They were seeing where it goes. You are aching for a partner. They are deciding whether to reply before or after dinner. Same two people, two completely different events in two completely different worlds. And here is the cruelty I really want to name. The culture looks at that ache, at the checking, at the caring out loud, and hands you a label. Needy, clingy, too much. You are being shamed for the success of the program, not its failure. And the phone makes it sharper than ever. A bond that for 2 million years was soothed by a face, a hand, a voice in the dark, is now starved by a silent screen and a single gray checkmark. Just enough contact to keep the craving lit, and never quite enough to let it rest. You are not weak. You are mismatched. But mismatched is the easy answer. The receipts are about to say something stranger about who you are even reaching for. So here is the read everyone reaches for first. You fell this fast because you wanted it too badly. Because you are needy and painted a whole person onto a stranger out of hunger. But that is not it. Watch the reversal. You are not really reaching for them, not yet. Your brain is reaching for the bond, for the lifelong partner your ancestors raised a child beside, and with that slot empty, it locks onto the nearest candidate at full ancient strength. The speed was never about how special this stranger is. It is your survival system mistaking 3 good dates for this is the one who stays. And once you see that, the science stops sounding like an accusation and starts sounding like a defense. Take the red flags you swear you saw and drove right past. In 2000, the neuroscientists Andreas Bartels and Semir Zeki at University College London, in Neuro Report, scanned people looking at someone they loved. 2 things happened at once. The reward regions lit up bright, and the regions for harsh social judgment went quiet. Reward up, judgment down. So, I saw the signs and could not make myself stop, is not foolishness. It is the circuit, turning up the wanting and turning down the warning, exactly as it is built to. Then, why a near stranger starts to feel like someone you need. In 2005, Arthur Aaron, Helen Fisher, and Lucy Brown, across Stony Brook University and Rutgers, in the Journal of Neurophysiology, put 17 people who were madly in love into a scanner. What lit up was the VTA, deep in the dopamine reward system, the same engine that drives you toward a goal you are chasing. The other person was not registering as a nice idea. They were registering as a reward your brain was driven to go get. That is why fast does not feel like a choice. It feels like need, because in there, chemically, it is. 17 people is a small window, not a verdict, but a striking one. Then, what actually glues 2 people together? In 1993, James Winslow, Sue Carter, and Tom Insel at the National Institute of Mental Health in Nature showed that in prairie voles, rare mammals that bond for life, blocking a chemical called vasopressin stopped the bond from forming. Hold that gently. Voles are not us. But the human fingerprint is there. In 2012, Ina Schneiderman and Ruth Feldman at Bar Ilan University and Yale, in psychoneuroendocrinology, found oxytocin running high in 120 new lovers, still high 6 months on, tracking with touch and with that can't stop thinking about them worry. The very feeling the world keeps calling needy is the bonding hormone, running high in early love. And the big zoom out. In 1992, the anthropologists William Jankowiak and Edward Fisher, in the journal Ethnology, went looking for romantic love across 166 cultures. They found clear evidence of it in roughly 89%, and the gaps read as missing records, not missing love. This is not a modern Western invention, and it is not a flaw in you. It is one of the most universal things human beings do. But knowing you are built for it, does not unache the ache. So what happens to a heart that runs this far ahead of the facts? Okay, deep breath with me. Because I do not want to leave you treating your own heart like something to be managed and apologized for. So here is the honest version, the part where it would be easy to oversell, and I am not going to. This is the lens of evolution, not the final proof of everything, and the phone is amplifying that ancient instinct, not purely causing it. This is not a diagnosis, not attachment styles, not anxious this or avoidant that, not love addiction, and absolutely not dating advice. And if the way you attach is causing you real, ongoing pain, that is a gentle and separate conversation with a real person who can sit with you in it. That matters, and it is allowed. But the fast, total, slightly terrifying pull after a good night with someone new, that is not a defect. You were never needy. You are bonded by a system 2 million years in the making, built back when falling fast meant falling for the person who would stay. The phone checking, the replaying, the future you cannot stop picturing, that is the oldest machine you own, doing exactly what it was built to do. Pull you toward someone, fast, so a fragile species could survive. The only thing that changed is the world you are running it in. So what do you do with it? Not stop feeling it. The feeling is real and human and yours, and you do not owe anyone a performance of being chill. You just let the bond earn the future, instead of front-loading the whole thing onto a near stranger. You know the chemistry is fast and real and a little ahead of the facts, so you give it time to be matched by reality. You let a person become, slowly, who the feeling already insists they are. Because that ache in your chest at 11 at night was never proof that something is wrong with you. It is proof that the oldest, most stubborn part of you still works, the part that reaches for another person and holds on. That is not weakness. That is the whole reason any of us are here. So send this to the friend who keeps calling herself too much, the one who falls hard and then hates herself for it. And send it to the friend who thinks catching feelings fast makes him weak, who hides how much he cares behind a wall of cool. Tell them both the same thing. They were never needy. They were just built to love like it matters. Because it does.